Right, enter gentlemen.
Marvellous.
You're on the right hand side.
Perfect. No worries at all.
That'll do.
I dropped
Deposit the items. Jude downstairs.
Yeah.
We love Jude, so this is a direct call out on the podcast a little bit. Just tried to tell me that Pepsi Max Cherry is worse for you than alcohol.
Oh, good,
So
Jude.
don't be silly, Jude.
Jude, we do love Jude. But this is a
Come on.
silly statement to make.
Come on now.
Is this Mr. Wickham's?
Yeah, that's Jones.
I might refer to you as John Wick throughout this, just because
That's absolutely
comedic
I've never realised
value.
that before.
Yeah. That's good, isn't it?
I've never realised that before. Are you both going to wear shades indoors?
I'm going to, because my eyes be
Is that what's going to happen?
You feeling cool?
The problem is if you wear shades indoors, will I look a knob?
I'm already a knob. I'm known for
Does
this.
this one be close to me or far away from me?
It's entirely to you, so it doesn't matter too much.
Too much. Somewhere there's nice.
Somewhere on the chest,
And,
yes.
Marvellous.
These are definitely nicer than mine, though. These are
Yeah.
the upgraded version.
Custom-made Ray-Bans, baby.
If
Oh,
there's
that
one
one
thing
there.
I know about you, though, John, it's that you don't play games on quality. Do you?
No, you buy once. That's it.
This is correct.
You literally just buy something once and that will do absolutely fine.
If you buy correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you buy cheap stuff, you're going to forever be buying cheap stuff.
A testimony to your life in general, actually. You went out and hired an excellent personal trainer, I must say. But a quick intro for John Wickham. So you are a client of mine, quickly becoming one of my favourite people, and dare I say it, a friend. You own and run Parrot Club and Happies down at, do we call it Kelham Island or Neeps End?
Neeps End technically, but
Yeah, but we'll say Kelham Island for
depends
the
what
marketing.
depends what mood you're in.
Yeah, I understand.
It's all the same place, let's
Yeah.
not pretend.
You have a little girl, don't you?
I do. 18 months old, called Layla,
Yeah, yeah.
and then a beautiful wife, Ashley,
Ashley.
who's my age. Surprise.
Good. That's better that way around.
Don't really
actually.
need
That's
to go
the way
into
around
that,
it should have
did
been. No. And then you've also got, is it 2 rooms now?
So there's 2 rum brands
Yes.
in the business portfolio. Within those 2 brands, there's one that's just a singular rum,
Yeah.
soon to be many.
Get it.
And then the other one, there are a range of 3.
Oh, okay.
More details
So, yeah.
of this then, because we love your rules as
Well, yes, and
So
first of
more
all,
details.
you're doing everything and you're doing it all very well, so this is impressive.
Zoom out as well, because
Am I zooming out?
it feels like we're interviewing John here, because we're sat both
See, I quite
facing
like
in
that.
the same
I'll take
direction.
that.
You've
Yeah.
got shades.
Yeah. I'm playing it cool. I'm trying to be anyway. But yes, you're doing everything. You're a man of
You and
many
your cheap
vocations,
glasses.
aren't you?
Here we go.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Here
not
we go.
cool.
Now I'm getting interviewed. Now it's 2-on-1 this
Yeah,
way.
you better watch.
Like,
boy.
sorry, officer, I didn't mean to.
This is a really hard battle for me because these are prescription. So
They
I could
actually
look-
help.
So I could look like a knob, but it does actually help.
Can I look through them?
You can't look like a bigger knob than me, so we'll roll with it. If this is what you want, dude.
Oh, not a strong
These
prescription.
are your
or do I-
no.
or do
Oh,
I
yeah.
need them? Do I
Most
need
important.
glasses?
How prescribed are I've never tested this, may I?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because this is something else that I need to add to your credit. Oh, there is a bit going on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Wow, like Wally.
I like those ones on you, 'cause they're
This will
bigger.
happen when you're 30.
Yeah, I've got a big fat wide head. When I'm 30, is that what I've
Yeah.
got?
Well, I thought I
calm
needed
down.
a new telly, and it turns out I needed glasses. That's how I found out. So yeah.
Yeah, funny.
Let's go.
That's good.
I had laser eye surgery when I was 20 or something like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I quite need that yet.
Nah,
but
you're pretty grand. That's not
When
much.
we get to that point where that's just like sort of on the NHS along with everything else, or
Get in.
I have enough money for private stuff, then
Sure.
then we'll do that.
Get your eyes back.
Yeah, the hardest thing about this is fitting him in a bloody motorbike helmet. So yeah,
Which is the last thing on your list of accomplishments that I find very cool, is your motorbike.
or just having one.
Yeah, but not more than just
You know,
having
you're
one.
able to go to the shop and purchase them. It's not like
And
an
I
invite.
did do that, and then I broke mine. So here we are.
Oh, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing I find cooler than just having one is not having anything else. Not having any car or anything. Just being like,
Is that your only mode of
This is
transport?
cool,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's commitment.
That is.
Don't even have a driving license for a car.
Oh.
Full motorbike license, but no car license.
Okay.
See, he's chose a path.
Why wait in traffic when every now and again you have to get a bit wet, but you get to work an hour earlier? Makes absolutely no sense. And there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes. Fact.
Ill preparedness.
So you have full waterproofs, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We,
like,
we live in the UK.
it's like a hamster bubble. Yeah.
There's only one place wetter than Sheffield on earth, and it's called Scotland.
You might as well have a paddle on the back of that bike or a rudder.
Yeah.
To get yourself around town.
Yeah, I think in the UK it rains 50% of days on average.
Oh,
So
good.
at least a little bit of
That's a
rain.
depressing
50% of rain.
statistic.
Ironically, my bike has got something called rain mode, which I'm absolutely certain is just when you put it in that, you just know you're going to crash. It does nothing else. You've already made the decision that you're going down. Do you know what I mean? That's all that is.
What does it actually do?
Not a clue. Nothing, as far as I can tell.
Well, you've had an accident on your bike, haven't you? Not one because of due to any fault of your own, but you got pretty hit by a car.
Yeah, pretty hit by a car. That's one way to put it. Yes, last April, I got hit by a car.
And this is one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because obviously we're in the gym and we've met through your
Yeah.
want to get stronger and fitter, and
Yeah.
you're doing excellently. We both would say.
Yeah,
You've said that individually.
Yes, 100%.
Leaner, stronger, healthier.
100%, yeah.
All the good things. I want to know what your relationship's been like with getting back from that kind of crash and then.
I think one of the hardest things about that was, it was I can't remember the exact day, even though I filled it on insurance forms about 300 times. But yeah, essentially last April, I wasn't even moving on the bike, but I got hit by some chap in a stolen car. Wiped out my leg for a bit. I think it was about a month of either not walking or really terrible walking.
Yeah.
So you were still on the bike and somebody who'd stolen a car came powering down on
So
you.
I was turning right into my own driveway. So I was stationary.
You were at home?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
stationary.
there's no bigger arsehole than
The
this guy.
last place you expect to get.
Yeah, I was stationary, literally turning right into my driveway, and some bloke rear-ended me in a stolen car and then drove off. So yeah.
And what happened to you? Did you go backwards onto the bonnet or what?
So I saw him at the last second, so I leaped off my bike to the left, but my motorbike landed on my left leg and then slid down the road. So I was really lucky. A lot of bruising down the left-hand side of my body, but my leg, I had have a bone contusion. So it's where the actual bone bruises because the motorbike landed on that. So that was a weird thing because I really wanted to. I've always been really into fitness. And more than anything, I think that put me in a rubbish place because last year it was just. I've got quite a stressful job anyway. A great job, but stressful. And I spent quite a lot of time just stress drinking and not being healthy and thinking, do you know what? Nothing matters. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because of the setback with that as well, I was in quite a lot of pain for a while. So just a whole list of excuses that, and it's super easy to make excuses, isn't it?
Sometimes it's excuses, but excuses are fake barriers, and sometimes you have real barriers.
Yeah.
So, you can't do anything about your leg. That's not an excuse. And if you
Absolutely.
excuses are fake, aren't they? Problems are real.
100%.
That's nice.
But I think I like that. But it definitely just amplified everything. It was another reason to not do or be where I wanted to be.
Absolutely.
And then I don't really know what it was. I think a lot of stress build up and whatnot, but pretty much New Year, I just went, right, cool, that'll do. I've had enough. I want to go back to how I felt before.
Yeah, so you've packed in the drinking for a minute now.
Yeah.
Many months.
Yeah, New Year. I think was
0 so far.
yeah.
And
Powerful.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any remorse of wanting to get back to it from you.
No,
You're
not at all.
on full power.
Sunday was close.
Oh, you did say that.
Oh my god. Oh, the
John
bar.
pulled a 22-hour shift on Sunday.
Yeah,
Nearly died.
that was pretty brutal. But do you know what? It still wasn't hard to say no, which is cool. I'm in a really good place with it now, though, which is nuts, having 2 bars and selling rum and stuff like that. And
Agreed.
honestly, just truly not bothered about having a drink, which is really cool.
It's balance, isn't it? And I'm sure you would, even having bars and being involved in these rooms, I'm sure you would also preach balance to everybody that uses your services. And I know you're big on trying to keep yourself healthy, trying to keep your staff healthy.
Yeah.
You pay big attention to all this, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, it's really important that, especially in my career. I mean, I've been one of the people that was insane behind a bar and everyone drinks too much all the time. But as I've gotten a little bit older, and especially now my dad as well, it's just so important to just get that balance. Go out, have a crazy night, have a mad staff do. But I think, especially in my industry, there's definitely a bit too much of it. And don't get me wrong, I was 100% a part of it. I am.
And that's why you can't really say shit now.
I am not trying to be the big man here and say everyone else.
No, we understand.
Not at all. But hopefully, I can instill a little bit of actually. there is balance to be had.
Yeah.
And I've actually found that not drinking at all is a really good thing for me because it gives me I've got to that point now where it's almost a challenge.
It's a challenge.
I like a challenge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, how long can I go without it not bothering me? So that's quite a cool thing for me. That's every day's like another cool achievement. So yeah.
To play devil's advocate, do you think that could ever fall on its head? If, say, on Sunday you'd have had a drink, would that have meant anything intense? Or
has that like ruined the challenge and going to cause a spiral? Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know. I think I'm hoping after a good chunk of time, because I've promised myself, just to prove it to myself, I'm doing 2023.
Okay.
Not having a drop.
So that's nice. That's
That's cool.
I like that.
That's cool. Also, pretty impressive in my industry, I think. Not a lot of people pull a year off. But what I haven't done is made any decision as to afterwards. I'll make that decision the day before. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't need that pressure, and this is my current goal. And obviously, I've got, as with you, I've got a lot of goals on the side as well. I know where I want to be. I know what I want to be able to do at that point. But the way it's going, I'm getting more and more into the fitness goal is the thing, you know.
But it's nice not just to have something to aim towards like this stuff, but have something to run away from as well.
Yeah.
Puts you into this interesting place where you're not only hungry, but you're afraid.
Yeah, absolutely,
and fear and hunger, that'll get you somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're caning it in the gym at the minute, in and out. Things are moving well. You haven't got too many things hurting that much anymore.
No, not really at all. Everything is definitely in the right direction, which is awesome.
It was only a month ago, or slightly more that you tore your pec minor very minorly.
Yeah.
That was an annoying day.
That was a really annoying day, especially the noise. It sort of went.
This is when we were doing dips outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just went.
It was really weird, wasn't it? Because it was like the third set as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't even at the start. I was like pretty warm and everything.
But it does speak volumes to that accident you had and the fact that trap had issues before. Systemically, that left-hand side is just not happy with you.
No. I mean, we've noticed that with pretty much everything, haven't we? Like, the left-hand side of my body is on almost everything a couple of reps weaker.
Yeah.
So what are we doing about this? Are we doing like dumbbell work, single arm, single leg work, or what's
very much still in the concentrating on technique phase, because what wants to happen is there's certain parts, like my traps specifically, they want to take over for everything. Like, they're quite strong and they just want to support every upper body movement.
Yeah, like John just wants to be in this position, so we're focusing down there.
Yeah.
What are we doing then? Lower trap work and back work and lat work.
Serratus is a big part of it
Serratus,
as well.
for the pinning the scapula in from the back. Yeah, that makes sense.
We've started doing single left leg work, haven't we, to try and focus on that? Sorry.
Yeah, we have,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's split squats in it, just on that side.
Yeah, the Bulgarian bell ends.
The Bulgarian bell ends. This is their new name.
It's my least favourite thing on earth.
It's one of the hardest things.
They're just horrible.
It's horrible.
You get almost no satisfaction from them.
Except amazing leg gains and strength.
Yeah.
Your legs will be crazy.
Yeah.
I've also joined you in this venture. My left leg is weaker and smaller than my right leg after, who would have guessed it, 7 years of demonstrating split squats on one leg only. Like
really
in
why?
our bed. Huh?
Not really one of the reasons why.
It's got to be. It's just got to be.
Don't even think about that, but I bet you've
think of the volume it's had compared to the other side.
Think about 7 years of just
it could be
one or two there.
5 times a day I do that at the maximum. It could be 0, but at the same time, if I'm doing 2 sets of 5, just extra body weight, maybe like
it adds up, doesn't it? That's why people have like one arm stronger than the other, and that's only from like opening doors over time and like maybe pick up
this
a
is stronger
bag.
than
Or
this for me.
some people generally have one leg stronger than the other, and that's only from like every time you step up a curb, subconsciously use the same leg. Or if you're going upstairs, you use the right leg first, for example. So by the time you get to the top, you've usually done one more on that leg. This kind of game.
I still haven't worked it out, but we had a look the other day, and my left bicep is like a fair chunk larger visually.
That was something we were struggling with,
which is just mental.
Why is that the weaker or the stronger
that's
arm?
the weaker
It's the weaker
side,
arm,
but it's bigger.
But it's bigger.
Well, I think it's because that side likes to be elevated and internally rotated. He's trap, pec minor, and bicep dominant. Whereas the other side, you're better at switching your lat on.
Yeah.
You've got much better engagement with your serratus, your pec major,
Yeah.
and like your lat, your mid trap. So
Yeah, it
I
sounds
just
like
think
if the left bicep's big, it sounds like the weakness on the left side's coming from somewhere that's just not the bicep. Then it's either the trap or the shoulder,
so that's why that's
or it's
bigger.
in that serratus. It's something surrounding that's not that, and that might have been compensating on the arm, might it, which made it bigger.
Yeah.
Or it might just naturally be bigger and stronger. Everybody has asymmetries.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be symmetrical in strength and size on both sides for all my life so far, and it's still a bit off. It's always a bit off, isn't it?
You're a symmetrical little boy, though. You do all right.
I've worked on it for a long time. So
Well
thank
done,
you.
sir.
Yeah. I look the same from the front and back as well, in case you know.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I think something's gone wrong there.
Yeah,
Got
might have.
nipples on your back.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool,
Yeah,
good.
got Voldemort on the other side of my head as
Fucking
well.
hell.
So it's like
You've got the head for it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's for sure.
I am
I'd,
Quirrell.
Quirrell!
I'm Professor Quirrell.
It's gotten a bit darker in here now, isn't it? That's good. Are you taking over as some?
Yeah. Do you want me to do that?
Please.
Honestly, my eyesight is so much better with these on.
That's a good excuse. I have 0.
I'm bad.
I have. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
There he is,
I'll look
handsome boy. Are you in one of your shirts today?
Oh no, I'm not
This isn't
actually.
one of
I was
yours.
thinking about that. I thought, you know what?
Do I represent?
I thought that would be a really, really, really good idea. And then, you know, when you get up at 5 a.m. and you go, "Where is my clothes?" and you go, "That will do."
Yeah.
Well, this one got picked up.
Yeah.
Although I'm repping a alky-free booze company,
Yes.
Big Drop Brewing Company,
Alcohol-free, is it?
alcohol-free beers, and they are absolutely delicious.
Oh,
so
they're-
yeah,
Are these
big.
local as well, or?
Do you know what? I haven't a clue. I probably should have found that out before I wore one of the t-shirts and spoke about them.
We have many sponsors on here that we've said.
I met them
sponsors
at-
have never heard of us.
I met them at the Northern Restaurant and Bar Show, and yeah, everything they make is delicious and has helped every single time I go out with my mates
Has it
and go
really?
have a drink. Yeah,
That's nice.
See, this is something I have an interesting relationship with in my head because I only really, well, drinking and eating is a very functional thing for me. There's less pleasure in it for me than there is for most people.
Yeah.
So I tend to have water, coffee, and alcohol because they each serve a purpose: a hydration purpose, an energy purpose, and a night-night purpose.
yeah.
And I don't think I would ever enjoy the idea of an alcoholic something because I don't really like the idea of just the flavours of things. But did you ever feel like this? Or
So
what?
I understand exactly where you're coming from because I actually know a lot of people that that do drink for a purpose. Like I know a lot of people that drink to get drunk, or I know a lot of people that drink for that 2 glass of wine buzz so that they feel cool and comfy and then they go and have a chat with someone and whatnot. Like I know a lot of people like that. For me, my massive problem, especially when I was drinking too much, was there are a lot of things I find genuinely delicious. I've been in
you're that way.
I've been in the hospitality, alcohol, restaurant industry my entire adult life, and I love exceptional food. I love crazy flavours.
I do hear a lot about your food that you'll enjoy.
So for me, I do really enjoy it. So having things like non-alcoholic beers, which the other bonus with them is if you compare a lot of them to a soft drink, for instance, you know, like if there's someone going out and necking pineapple juice and necking Coca-Cola and stuff like that, you know, like a can of Guinness Zero, a pint can of Guinness Zero is only 91 calories. Is it? Right? And then it's really malty,
handy.
it's got fibre, do you know what I mean? Everything like that. It's actually really not terrible for you at all.
I agree, yeah.
How do you feel about this nutrition, man? Yeah.
If you look at the actual where all the calories in beer are, or all the calories in wine, they're in the alcohol.
Yeah, quite most of it.
Alcohol is incredibly calorific.
Yeah.
You know, a double gin is like 170 calories or something like that.
It's
And
bizarre, isn't it?
the alcohol itself is the calories.
Yeah, it's the second most calorific thing after fats. So fats is
Yeah.
Is it really? That's
yeah, fats is
Amazing.
9
I'm
calories
learning a
per
thing,
gram. Fats is every
Okay,
1 gram of fat's 9 calories, 1 gram of alcohol is 7 calories. So it's similar to, it's not far off pure oil in terms of
No, I
calorie
didn't know
balance.
that.
Carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram, so significantly less.
And is there something to do with the fact that because they don't get stored and processed nearly as functionally as like actual, say, fats or something?
The alcohol.
That's often why people end up with like a beer belly or whatever it is. Because
That's usually due to insulin resistance.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but it can be, because alcohol, you're right, it can't be stored as
That's it,
different forms of energy, yeah.
you can't be
Yeah, you can't actually store the alcohol molecule as body fat. So all body fat somebody's got, that's not come from the alcohol. That's come from either when they've had the alcohol, because it's technically a toxin, it's like a poison, it stops other digestive processes occurring. It starts to down-regulate all these processes. So it's when you drink alcohol and then you eat the kebab, It's the kebab that gets absorbed.
I see.
Does that make sense? This is why real alcoholics who don't eat are usually not overweight. They're very thin. Low nutrition, malnutrition, okay, you could say so. But if you're not eating and you're drinking too much, those people are not usually the beer belly people. And when you were talking beers, that's why it's beer belly. You never hear like vodka belly, do you? No. It's beer belly because beer is alcohol and carbs together. Yeah, it's carbs mixed into it, isn't it? This is all like cider or wine. These have got sugars and carbs in them. You know, this is why I'm like more of a spirit guy. If I have a drink, I have like vodka, lime, and soda, or gin and slimline tonic.
Options to consider, haven't you?
Yeah.
I am going to have to give you a list of things that are significantly better to drink for taste, though.
You're the man.
Than what?
Vodka, lime, and soda.
You're not giving them this today, though, are you, John?
What I want is nice to taste, but low calories, no carbs. Yeah. So I usually get vodka and some kind of like diet mixing drink.
Yeah.
I don't mind. This might be so offensive to you. I don't mind rum and Fanta Zero. I'm I'm a fruity pirate. I'm rum and Fanta
You are a
Zero.
fruity pirate.
Rum and Fanta fruit twist.
Mate, get yourself on rum and ting. That's the way forward.
Ting. What's ting?
Ting. It's the ting. It's the Jamaican ting.
I don't know about the ting.
Oh, it's grapefruit like Jamaican soda.
Oh shit.
But it's now 0 sugar as well.
All right.
Right. Okay.
Rum and ting.
Okay. I'm gonna bring some rum. I should have brought some rum and ting today. I couldn't.
I messaged you to bring tasters.
No, I know you
Come on,
didn't.
bro.
Here we are, sober.
I mean, it's
Sorry.
only 11 a.m.
Sober at 11 a.m. on
It's
Thursday.
11 a.m. Yeah, but look how dark it is outside. The listeners didn't have to know what time it is. It's not going out now. We're not live. It's fine.
This is true, actually. Yeah.
Fine.
This is very true.
We've got Jesus books over there in the corner. It's all about balance. Isn't it? This is what we're talking
If we drink
about.
close to Jesus, then I'm just
That's what I'm
inviting him
saying.
in.
It's the
This is
body
good.
and the bread, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's the blood
exactly.
and the wine. It's
Yeah.
what we're at.
And I must say, I've only had the one beginning with an S. Remind me the name of it.
Siren.
Siren.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I drink neat.
I can't remember
and
which.
it's nice.
I can't remember which flavour you had. Was it?
It's the pineapple-y type.
Yeah, the
one.
exotic one.
Yeah.
So I've never had or seen this Siren rum. So you've got different flavoured rum.
Yes. So
Bloody good.
What percentage alcohol is it still?
So I'll run you through him. So we've got O'Hara's rum. So I joined a chap called Andy O'Hara.
Yeah.
Top lad. He's my business partner in the bars and the rums.
Yeah. He's well known around Sheffield.
Yeah.
And people say good things about him.
Probably far too well.
Could tone it down, should he?
No, he really is a great guy. But essentially, I joined him and he had O'Hara's rum.
Yeah.
So that's like your traditional vanilla-y, spicy rum, full of sugar, absolutely horrendous for you, but delicious.
It's the only rum because I'm usually like a fruity, watered down kind of girl. I'm watering things down a lot
You
with
definitely are.
I'm not putting hairs on my chest with no drinks. But O'Hara's is the only spirit I've ever drank neat and enjoyed it.
Amazing.
It's so fucking nice. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Before we even knew each other, all my friends recommended O'Hara's. Everyone loves it. We were getting it on bars on Ecclesall Road one time.
Here's a mad little secret for you about O'Hara's because I actually do the recipe for it.
Yeah.
So the most expensive component of O'Hara's isn't the rum, it isn't the label, it isn't the bottle, it isn't the cork. It's the quantity of actual Madagascan vanilla in there.
Oh, God.
Is it?
Yeah, it
That's
genuinely,
what you get in your-
single-handedly accounts for over 50% of the cost of the product.
That's insane. Is that mainly due to the actual product or the import fee, or what is this?
It's the product. Vanilla's a fortune anyway, but when I was when we're going through and trying all the different vanillas and things like that, nothing compares to good Madagascar vanilla.
Trying
I agree.
cheap
Ice
ones,
cream.
like,
Madagascar vanilla
literally
ice cream's also the one.
Doesn't come close. What do you want? No,
this is an occupational hazard of John Wickham.
It is.
Phone be going.
I'll be honest. I've just looked at my phone and it's terrifying how many missed calls there are.
If you need to take them out and take them, this is fine. We can pause.
No, it's right. I don't need
Sure.
to do business on the podcast.
I agree.
Okay.
As it were.
Pure terror when he looks at his phone.
So yeah, we've got the O'Hara's, and then when I joined, what we wanted to do was premiumise slightly, but we realised that actually O'Hara's didn't need premiumising.
Okay.
It is what it is. It's delicious. It's
the
yummy.
best.
It's welcoming, and it's just great. So, Sairen was born. So even though O'Hara's is a dark rum, it's actually unaged. So we add caramel to it so that it becomes dark.
Dark, okay.
So Sairen is the other way around. It's 5 years old, but it's completely crystal clear. And that's because it's charcoal filtered to take the colour out. Now, the reason for that is so that cocktail bartenders can use it and make it look beautiful as well.
By mixing it with things or what?
Yeah, so say you shake it up with, just very, very simply, with pineapple, lime, a little bit of sugar, right? Make a pineapple daiquiri, something like that. It'll look beautiful in a really nice glass, because actually, everything when you use a really dark brown spirit looks like swamp water.
Yeah, it looks like mud.
Essentially, and it's actually a really hard sell in certain scenarios. So that was the reason behind that. But then there was 3 flavours. And the one that you've tried, the exotic, so that was born out of a smell.
Yeah, I like this story.
So
I like this story.
I was really pleased with this, but I was in Mauritius, which is actually where I got engaged to my wife.
Oh, very nice.
And there was this fruit stall, little way down the beach, roasting hot. Fruit's been out all day. Loads of fruit I don't recognise. But there was this smell, and it was this sort of like fermenty, fruity hum coming down the beach, but in a really good way. Sort of like someone's left a pineapple and a mango in the sun for too long, was started turning boozy. Do you know what I mean? But an amazing smell, like real, like
just sticky in the air.
If you could roll the tropics up into like a smell, that was it.
Wow.
So it was like, right, we need to bottle that smell. How do we do that?
That's a good place to start, isn't
so it turns out very difficultly.
What flavours have you used to create this then?
So mango, pineapple, passion fruit, dragon fruit, sweet sop, sour sop, jackfruit, and another fruit.
So and that's all that just.
Oh, and cardamom. It needed cardamom in it. That was a weird one. Okay. Those little pods, you know, you put in like pilau. Yeah, you put in like pilau rice to make it aromatic. And,
okay.
Yeah. They're amazing.
So what is the actual process of distilling? So you get your ingredients.
So the rum I purchased. So I work with some distillers.
So is the rum just the raw alcohol of it, or what?
Yeah. So rum is only ever made from 2 things. Legally on Earth, rum can be made from 2 things. You have rum agricole or agricultural rum, which is made of fresh sugarcane juice. So you roll the sugarcane like in a mangle, squeezes all the juice out, you ferment it. That's it.
Just leave it.
Natural yeast, it becomes alcoholic, and then you distill it. The other option is using molasses. So you take that fresh sugarcane juice, and then that is manipulated into molasses through heating and CO2, and you end up with this dark, sticky, nasty. I mean, it looks like tar. It's mad stuff. I think you can buy molasses from Tate and Lyle, but it is like, oh god.
So I know. I'm just thinking.
So glad I came on the bike.
You mean your one mode of transport?
My one mode of transport. Well, yeah, I could have come on the bus, but
no, you couldn't.
But the problem is,
you couldn't really.
No, I can't.
No, you couldn't.
It's awful.
I agree.
I could have, but the problem is I can't.
Yeah. I'm a tram wanker. I don't recommend it.
I'd love to, but no. So you. I mean, yeah, if you've ever seen it, you know, black treacle. This stuff looks like that.
Okay.
So then that gets distilled, and you get 2 very different types of rum. Fresh sugarcane one, you get all these grassy, heady notes that are all, you know, they're amazing. But it's come from very punchy.
Right.
Even though it's technically not, one example you might know of is Ray and Nephew's Jamaican rum. If you ever see a green and yellow bottle on a shelf that says Ray and Nephew, just buy it.
I know Bumbu from that's Jamaican, I think, or something like that. That's nice.
I'm not supposed to. No, I'm not even going to get into it because I'll start getting upset about other rums.
Moving on. Back to your rums.
Buy Ray and Nephew, it's great.
Okay.
That's my review of Bumbu.
Oh, good. This is good to know for me. Green and yellow.
Yeah. Okay. It is 63%. So.
That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, put a bit in pineapple, but mate, it tastes of something which can only actually be described as funk. It tastes of funk.
Funky.
It's honestly
not funky.
No,
of funk.
Of funk.
I understand. Funky.
So yeah, and it's literally how they describe it as well. That's how the Jamaicans want it described. Funk.
Great.
I mean, it makes you feel funky as well at 63%. You got to be careful with that.
Too right.
But yeah, so essentially I import the base product. So I import it at about 85% alcohol.
Right.
Then when it comes in here, I use my flavours that I've developed. We add water to it. We add a very, very, very small amount of sugar to our product. Most spiced rums have got, or spiced or flavoured rums have got a fair quantity of sugar or something called dosage in them, which is like a sugar barrel aged combination, which they use in champagne. But ours is very, very, very low quantity. I almost wanted it to kind of hit the gin market as well. So I like drinking, I did like drinking our rums with tonic. Like,
cool.
Rum and tonic.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's one of those things that never really sort of latched on. But if you think about it, gin's very dry, tonic's very dry.
So like a white rum and tonic.
Yeah. Whereas rum, it's got this natural sweetness to it. White rum technically it's got no real sugar in it because it's been distilled, but it has got this rounded, beautiful sweetness to it. And because of that, it actually balances beautifully with really dry tonic. They actually level each other out a little bit and really, really bold flavours. In a lot of instances, don't get me wrong, sometimes it don't work. There's a million different rums out there, and they are all very, very different. It's a vast, vast category. But yeah, it's great. It's a great thing to do.
Tell me what distilling means, because I don't quite understand the actual process of what that is.
You take your ferment, so you've got a alcoholic liquid, probably it could be anything between 5 and 15% alcohol, something like that, right? So 5 to 15% of it is alcohol in this combination, right? When you distill it, and
Can I just ask another question?
Yes.
How long does it take to go from the first product to the fermented product? Like, how long does that fermenting take?
How long's a piece of string?
One of them, right?
Yeah, 6 hours, 6 months.
Oh, shit.
Okay, what does that depend on?
It's when the bacteria tells you it's done, essentially.
Is that depending on what you're fermenting?
When there's loads and loads and loads of natural yeast, it can be like that. It can be so fast.
Which is a case of what, something you add, or this is just...
Or not add, depending on if there's loads and loads of natural yeast around the area. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of places have got like open tanks and vats, so that natural yeast gets in. A lot of people like boost it with extra yeast. A lot of people use like champagne yeasts in it, so it gives it a... Yeah. Mate, it's absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And is this considered better or worse to do it natural or added yeast, or does no one care? It's just what you do.
It's what is the distiller looking for.
Okay.
So if you use your chosen yeasts, you can almost, when they're really good, you can almost pinpoint the final flavour right at the very end product. When you're using wild yeast, it's like, whoa, let's hope it's good.
Okay,
so,
there's more variation in wild yeast.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
So a lot of places will do distillers editions of stuff, and you'll see this with whiskies especially. They'll do distillers editions where the distiller has gone, right, I want to use that yeast, that yeast, and that barrel, and that barrel, and that barrel, and they'll do that.
Because the barrel flavours get into it as well, is that what you're saying?
Whereas if you think about, we're using natural products here. Take a whiskey that's been produced for thousands of years or whatnot, and it still tastes the same as it did 100 years ago, right? That whiskey is a blend of probably 1,000 whiskies to make sure it tastes the same every single time.
I see.
But if you think about it, it's all completely natural products. So at some point, one bit of it was different.
So what do you mean? When they're making whiskies, they're making loads of it and then mixing them together and then portioning it out?
If you think about it, like everything's aged in a barrel as well when you're making whiskey. Well, every tree is different. You can't keep using the same one.
No.
Every tree is going to taste different.
Every time you use a barrel again, it might be.
And then sometimes they do like cherry caskets or wine caskets and things, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And give it
the job of a master blender is one of those things that dumbfounds me. It's so skilled, it's unbelievable. But some of these guys, they train for 30, 40 years before they get the title of master blender.
Damn.
In the same place, doing the same thing day in, day out. And it requires a palate. Like you say you're not really involved in the flavour. I'd say I'm pretty involved in flavour.
But then there's someone that can go,
these guys
this
guys can taste stuff that you don't even know exists.
Yeah, I see.
Do you know what I mean? It's incredible.
I
might have to stick around here for ages, boys. That weather is horrendous.
That's almost like don't get on the bike when
that is shocking.
For those that can't see in the background, it is cats and dogs. Look at that drain pipe. That's going to be an issue. I'm going to have to fix that.
So this is probably a basic question. What's the difference between a rum and a whiskey then?
Very, very, very straightforward. Rum has to be made from sugarcane or molasses. Whiskey's made from grain.
Okay.
Whiskey made from grain.
Yeah, so you get corn whiskies, you get your bourbons, stuff like that.
What's a bourbon?
Sorry.
So the molasses is what I told you about when you turn the sugar into the dark treacly stuff.
Yes, so that's just that's the process, isn't molasses?
So no, the molasses is when you've taken that raw sugar, and you've boiled it down and you've got like the raw. So if you think about fresh cane sugar, think about everything. Think about vodka. 60% of that is water, right? If you want to get all that water out, you have to do a process. Molasses is kind of the final process. If you think, whereas the
hello. That's all right.
Yes, hello.
Good to see you. We didn't put the sign up. That's our
that's
mistake.
true. That's true.
Tom from the Station Gin.
How many people were trying to come in there?
I know.
What was happening?
Come on in, people. Let's podcast.
11
My
people
brother
just
may
tried to
walk
walk
in,
in.
by the way. He's one that's been given an invite just to come and say hi.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, as you were, sir. Sorry. Molasses.
So yeah, molasses is like the end stage product.
final stage.
You know, fresh sugarcane juices straight from the plant. Loads of water still in it. You know, fresh and everything. Molasses is when you've taken all of those other things out and you're left with dark, cooked, dirty sugar.
It's used in quite a lot of recipes for food as well, molasses.
Yeah.
It's also what brown sugar is. Brown sugar is white table sugar mixed with molasses. This kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gives things a slightly different flavour and a slightly different, darker look to it.
I
doesn't
see.
it?
There's a lot of people that badger on about how great molasses are for you as well.
Oh, really?
How good it is for you.
But
Do you have
why?
any opinion on this?
lots of like natural yeast and things and digestion and all that sort of stuff. And do you know what? I think it's probably bollocks. I think it's just delicious.
I think it's
Good argument, though.
It's probably not true.
I trust Connor on most issues like this.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's probably not true. I agree with you.
But it is yummy. There's
Yeah,
no
it's
doubt about
just
that.
sugar, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's just basically like a dark, treacly version of sugar. Not dissimilar to like treacle or something like this.
What's your opinion on, do you know the whiskey Shackleton?
Shackletons?
Yeah.
No.
That's,
trying to think.
that's
Do
one of
I?
the only whiskies I've like really ever had a bit. I'm not a whiskey man. I'm a rum man, if anything. But I'm interested to see what you think of that if you ever come across it.
I'll have to look into it. It's somewhere in my
So
brain.
It was basically, the story goes, was that Shackleton's
Yeah.
expedition to the North Pole, I think it was, or Antarctica, it was something, somewhere frozen.
Yeah.
He went and they made their own whiskey on the way or something like that and distilled it from what they found and had. And then when they found the wreck, that's what obviously one of the only things that survived was this whiskey.
Yeah.
So they then supposedly reverse engineered it. And I'm just reading this off the bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually possible.
Oh, this is the story.
Reverse engineered it and then mass manufactured it. And then that's what Shackleton is.
It's a good way of selling
Marketing, yeah.
selling a brown product from Wolverhampton, though, isn't it?
You always need a good story, I agree.
No, I'll give it a go.
Be interesting to see.
Always up for trying a new thing.
Yeah, of course.
But no, just in case you're wondering, I know I'm in the industry, but I haven't tried everything on earth.
Well, John, frankly, I'm disappointed. And
I'm kind
I
of
think
glad
it's
that
unprofessional of you.
you're now on a new health track.
You are on a new health track, and it's treating you very nicely.
It is, it's great.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about this if we can as well.
Yeah.
Because you've been losing weight and building strength. Our audience is obviously interested in this type of stuff. So I just wanted to know what you've been doing. Obviously, you've been working with Will, but how have you trimmed down? What have you been doing to achieve this? You're looking bigger, stronger, fitter. What's been going on?
Yeah, so I've made a fair chunk of changes. So when I joined Will, which was around January, was it somewhere
Pretty
like
early
that?
on.
But it was about the 4th of January. I was about 104 kilos, 36-inch waist, and I had a 42.5-inch chest.
What waist again, sorry?
36.
Okay, yeah.
I now have a 33-inch waist.
Yes.
45-inch chest, and I'm balanced between 96 and 97 kilos. So a fair chunk off, but also there's a lot of better strength there, and I've tried to be everything's very functional as well. It's not just I've gone hell for leather and sort of done anything wrong. Technique's got better on everything. And
including some setbacks halfway through. Minor ones, but annoying that took time.
But yeah, definitely, like everything, I'm trying to gear everything towards being able to do this for the foreseeable, well, for the rest of my life, basically. I don't want there to be any setbacks at all. There's going to be minor ones. I know that. There just always is. But if we can deal with it like we did with the pec minor going, I still came to the gym 5 days a week.
Did you just work around it, or
just worked around it,
and then back and legs, or
slowly but surely it came to doing sort of like the push-ups on your knees and whatnot, just really slowly to try and stretch it back out, and just added a little bit at a time, and then it was only about 5 weeks, and then I was back on my dips. So yeah.
And you told me you did a couple of sets of 12 dips few days ago and everything's feeling fine.
Yeah, it was good
which
stuff.
I was really, really pleased with. He's definitely going in the right direction, but I've changed my diet quite drastically as well.
Sure. In what kind of ways?
The one thing I've never had a problem with is I don't eat many takeaways.
Okay.
I never eat ready meals because, frankly, I've never found one that is as delicious as something I can cook.
Okay.
Too right.
Are you a good cook?
And I love cooking.
Do you?
Cooking's like my safe space. God, I get so upset when my wife leaves my Japanese knives in the sink. Christ. But yeah, cooking is my.
What are some of your specialities to home cook? What's some of your best meals?
I absolutely love cooking a stir fry because I love the meticulous preparation.
I did that yesterday.
Do you know when you just lay everything out along the top, and you finely julienning like the carrots and things like that, and
I did a stir fry the other day.
making sure that every item is the same size.
I bought 2 of those stir fry mix packages, and I went open, dumped chicken with scissors in, sauces.
Because I know where John's coming from, because I don't like cooking, but to the extent that I've spent the last 3 of my birthdays accumulating and asking for presents to do with the kitchen, so that I can have. It's something I've got to do. I know I've got to do it, so I might as well. And I'm a man. I like to enjoy the tools that I use for things. That's why I like film cameras. So I got like 1 year stainless steel and copper pans.
Yeah, absolutely.
This year around, I've got knives. Yeah, and so I put this new knife that I got on Monday. On an onion, and it just fell through it.
Honestly, my biggest piece of advice to those people that are bored about cooking, like that really aren't into it, start by buying yourself a really good 8-inch chef's knife. Yeah, that's all you need. You only need one, but go and spend 60 quid on one.
Yeah, is that what it costs for a nice one? Okay.
You can get a great one for 60
My
quid,
set was 280 quid, reduced, but I was like, right, get it done, like you say. Yeah. I've got my pans, my cast iron ones, my knives, got some nice chopping boards. I'm ready. Yeah.
Buy something proper to sharpen your knife. Yeah. And buy a decent chef's knife, because suddenly the enjoyment, and learn how to chop properly, learn how to not cut your hands off. Well, don't hold an onion like that. Jesus.
And I'm good, because this wasn't even me chopping. This was me. I was trying to just wipe garlic off it in the way that I always do, just down the edge. Oh yeah, I didn't even go anywhere near the edge, but it was so sharp. Yeah. Just running it like that. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch out, boys.
But it does. It makes. I think that's just the case with everything. Like, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. It really does.
It's like you wouldn't want to get on my motorbike that doesn't fucking work. Yeah. Because it's not a nice bit of machinery to use. You want to get on something you know it's going to give you feedback.
You need the right gear for everything you do. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be stupid money. It can just be right for your ability, or right for what you need.
All right, wait then. Teach me what goes into a good stir fry sauce. Then we do the vegetables. All right, your julienne. All right.
Right. John, I'll teach you.
What sauce are you putting in it?
Quickly, the easiest sweet and sour sauce ever.
Oh please.
Right, because that's what people always order from a Chinese takeaway, and it genuinely takes like 30 seconds. Okay. So just get a tablespoon. Right. Sugar. Doesn't matter what. It just doesn't matter. Put some sugar on the spoon, put it in your pan. Soy sauce, same amount. Tomato ketchup, same amount.
Oh, shit.
Take that much pineapple chunks, throw them in. Ginger, garlic, and then I like putting zest of lime in it. That's it. That is just it.
I think I have all those things at home right now.
So. The thing is, I almost absolutely guarantee it's going to have way less salt content and be much less terrible for you than if you've bought it from a Chinese. Don't get me wrong, still isn't the healthiest sauce ever for you.
Or if you bought it from the shop.
But it is way better than buying it from Chinese. Sure. I still am yet to find a good takeaway non-restaurant Chinese from Sheffield. Okay. Still yet to find one.
I'm not really a big Chinese food eater, so I also couldn't really recommend you one.
But yeah, that's and then you can tweak it how you like. I really love spicy food, so I chuck in loads and loads of chili
in there.
Into the sweet and sour.
Yeah.
Sweet and sour and spice.
Yeah.
He'll take any flavour, John. He'll mix whatever he wants.
Yeah. Too right. Why
Turn it
wouldn't
into rum, sweet and sour rum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's definitely a seller.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cooking's just not hard. It's just not.
It's not hard when you know how to do it.
It's just not.
You fucking idiot.
The thing is, everyone's like, "Oh, I have to follow a recipe." No, just stop that. put stuff in. If it tastes bad, fix it.
As I've grown in my industry, I've come to think of cooking similar to my thing. Like you get to a point of like you try and learn and read things and learn
really
things.
dark.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah. You try and learn things for the sake of learning it, to know it, and then you start actually understanding it. And then once you understand it, you don't need to know it because you can improvise. And when you like you say, you can, that needs a little more of this. When you understand it, then it's like.
The only thing not to attempt to improvise on, don't like jazz baking. You can't
completely agree.
You can't do jazz baking.
No. So there's no freestyling baking, not unless you're amazing.
No, I can't. I can't bake.
No, I also can't bake.
Don't understand it. Confuses me. It's weird. Stop it.
I've never tried to bake.
It's more specific with the grams of ingredients, isn't it? You have to be if you want the specific outcome, you have to be very specific.
Yeah.
I'll fast action yeast some pizza dough stuff, but this is as far as I go.
Yeah, I'll happily do the sort of pizza doughs and stuff like that. It's easy. Pasta dough, everything like that.
But bread.
But you come to making like a really good loaf of bread, and I'm talking, one where you crunchy top and soft in the middle, and it doesn't fall apart when you put it in a toaster. I don't understand bread. And also, the hassle of it. It's like, I've already been to the gym today. I don't want to knead this for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I just want to chop some stuff.
Just for carbs. If I'd put protein powder in it as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Just kneading carbs. This isn't good news.
Yeah. I've got a friend who makes his own butter, and I genuinely just think he needs more friends.
Is he an 1850s like housewife?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like,
Oh my god.
That's pretty much,
what
much exactly what it is.
That's so funny.
Oh, that is funny. I've been doing a lot of cooking lately, and I wouldn't say I'm a good cook, but I'm definitely good at making healthy food that tastes nice.
Yeah.
I'm not like a chef
are,
or anything like this. Like, it's not going to be gourmet, but I can make really healthy, high protein meals. So it's low calories, it's high protein, but really good flavors.
Yeah.
I've got good at using different spices and different sauces.
Spices and herbs are the
Yeah.
absolute key to that, aren't they?
If you're trying to keep the calories down, we can't be using too many fats and sugars. We need the flavors and the textures to be coming from
100%,
elsewhere. I'm good at Italian food and Mexican food.
Yeah.
Mexican's easy to make real healthy, isn't it? Because it's grilled meats sometimes, bits of rices, there's beans, there's spices.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's quite easy to, and you can freestyle some Mexican.
Making like homemade fajitas as well. Like,
Easy.
If you can't do that in 5 minutes, then you need a better pan.
Sorry.
Because it's not hot enough.
Yeah.
like it's all this food is supposed to be fast as well. You almost ruin it if it takes too long. Because you cook everything too much, it gets mushy and nasty. Do you know what I
Another
mean?
good reason why you need good kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when people go on like Just Eat and order tacos.
Oh, and then
I almost guarantee by the
soggy.
time they get to you, they're crap. Just make them.
Yeah.
It's not
there
hard.
are certain, like if you've ever ordered sushi as well, to deliver, not a good time.
Have you ever made sushi? I haven't.
Not on my own.
That's a
with
skill
parents
set I
in the
haven't
past.
quite mastered yet.
You tried.
I'll be honest, one of the main problems I haven't mastered with sushi is being able to afford sushi grade salmon.
Oh, trust me. I have seaweed a lot.
It's an absolute fortune.
To me, I'm very basic. Okay, I'm from Rotherham.
You're a little white man.
Yeah, so when I'm the whitest of all men.
We know
I'm
this.
from Rotherham. So when I say this,
It's nearly see-through.
don't judge too hard. But when I go to a nice sushi restaurant, I'm always so disappointed how the salmon's not smoked. Why does it taste like nothing?
I disagree.
Is that how it's supposed to go in sushi? You're supposed to have non-smoked salmon? Because
So-
it tastes like nothing. I'm like,
So often I do get where you're coming from because sometimes it's terrible, but it usually means you've got some terrible wasabi, you've got some terrible soy.
I can't do wasabi.
I also can't do wasabi.
This is where
It's
I've
too
become
much.
white.
Equally, a lot of the time you get what's it like, salmon loin or whatever.
Okay.
You need the belly stuff that is just, oh my god, it's just amazing. I think it's pretty terrible for you. 'Cause It's just all fat.
It's
But
omega-3 fat's also good for you, but it's
but,
very
oh
a
my
lot of
God.
calories.
I just want it.
Would you
I just want to eat salmon now and always.
would you hunt and eat your own meat if you could? If you could and practically and had the time and Joe Rogan style lifestyle.
I definitely.
I am.
I definitely
Oh yeah. I'm almost semi-tempted if I don't cut my work hours down soon just to go into the forest and not come back. So yeah.
You might find me there, to be honest. Yeah.
I think I'd be pretty good at it, to be fair.
Yeah, I can sling an axe and shoot him. I'm actually really good with a bow and arrow, actually. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
as well.
I know I'm not good. I've
no.
trained, but I'm not good.
I'm
I
good.
wouldn't say I'm good.
I spent much of my life fly fishing, so I've got that bit down.
Have
That's
you?
nice.
Yeah.
If you were running and I had a bow, it's 50-50 you're going to die. You should be scared and you better zigzag.
See,
but
I'd
it's
say
not
that's
guaranteed
good.
that I'm going to take you out.
In
Not with
today's
one
day and
shot.
age, when archers...
This escalated fast.
we get on these tangents. I reckon I could throw an axe at your head from a good 20 metres away.
I would take that bet. I'm not going to shake on it, no, but I would take that bet. I don't know.
Arrows fly a lot far. I'd sooner have a bow and arrow.
I reckon because of this macho bullshit, I'd last longer than both of you.
What, just in the other direction? Yeah.
Me and Will kill each other immediately. John's left surviving.
You don't need to be the
You
fastest.
two be proving a point. I'd just be like setting a rabbit trap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Building a shelter. It's a more legitimate thing to do.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen that film.
We're
The smart
wrestling
man
and trying to
wins.
take it to
Hey, have you ever made one of them old caveman things? It's a stick with like a notch in it, and you can sling a javelin.
Atlatl.
That's the one.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what these are?
I love the fact that that was it. Just
Connor
bam.
knows.
I know exactly what
We're
that
on the
is.
same. We know. It's like a little stick. It's like the length of my forearm to here, and they carve out a notch there.
I have seen these.
And then they use the bamboo
Yeah.
spears, so it's got like a hole in the end, and they can.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
They're
aren't
so
they?
smart.
Yeah.
I really like ancient human history and anthropology
Yeah.
and archaeology and stuff like this. This is what was invented basically before the bow and arrow
For
existed.
the needle.
Yeah, before the bow and arrow, we had this. You put a stick into another stick, and then it's like an extension of your arm. So rather than throwing a spear with that much leverage, it's longer, so it goes woof, and you can flick it. It shoots a spear.
We should definitely just start doing this instead
Apparently
of
it's
the gym.
really
Just going
hard.
hunting.
Mate,
Apparently, it's really hard to do this. I've watched it on YouTube.
I've made one before and tried.
Did it work?
I had
That's
some
like trying to make
successful
your own
attempts.
bow, though, isn't it? It's got to be.
I've tried that as well. That didn't work.
No, that's very hard.
Very much not like with a lathe.
I've just got this image in my head of you with some string and some two before.
Literally,
Bend.
like nothing going well about it. Yeah. The first iteration was just a stick, but the Atlatl, that one had some success with. I remember you can get it further and with limited accuracy, but whatever. So yeah, I think I'm a good fan. I'm a good fan of this stuff.
All hunting's illegal, basically, though. In the UK.
I know this is the
And
problem.
we don't have
isn't
any
it?
big animals to even hunt in the first
You're
place.
only allowed to hunt if you are, and don't quote me on this, a wealthy white man. I think that's the sort of rule. And when I say wealthy, I'm not
one
talking,
of them, John?
I'm not talking rich. I'm talking wealthy. Different
I'm
kind of
gonna
thing.
quote
Wealthy's
you on
like
that.
there.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
We can't reach wealthy.
Yeah. Wealthy is, you ride around your house on a horse. Do you know what I mean? That sort of wealthy.
Horse.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the criteria of
We have
hunting
little
in the
bird
UK.
hunting, don't we?
Yes,
There's pheasants.
Really, really fair.
Yeah. Standard.
There's pheasant hunting, isn't there? There's not much else going on.
Connor hunting from me with an axe.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. Get your little bow now ready.
This is going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's got me at jiu-jitsu, so I might as well have him at summit.
I've never done axe throwing, though.
Have you not?
I've
like axe throwing.
never thrown a singular axe.
You don't need to be that rich for that. You just find
You just
one.
go down. to the
Ironically,
island.
at my stag do, I went axe throwing to start the day off, and obviously you have to sign one of those disclaimers in the because this is an actual thing. This isn't just two lads in a field. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to this axe throwing thing in Manchester, and you have to sign a disclaimer saying, you haven't had any sort of like drink or anything in the last 12 hours because it's dangerous and everything like that. So I'm there like this on my stag do, like. so sign this thing like this, and the bloke was like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." And I got asked to leave.
Did you?
I got asked to leave for being a danger to myself.
You can
so
see
that was
two of
good.
the targets.
So yeah, I think we managed to stick it out to the end. But yeah, I think they had a couple of chats with me. Don't remember a whole lot.
Good stag do.
Yeah, pretty sure it was
match
great.
with a good stag do, I reckon that.
Can I ask you then, before we end in like
Yeah.
3 minutes, because I know you're on a tight schedule, we didn't go through what dietary changes you've made, because we're supposed to be
Oh,
a health-
didn't we?
No,
The nutritionist has been sat here upset.
Ah, right.
we're trying to be a health and fitness
Yeah.
podcast. Mostly we chat shit.
So yeah, my
It's
So
infotainment.
what have you been eating, John, to lose this weight?
So the main thing I didn't have to change was actually what I was eating, because my diet in terms of what I'm having is healthy, home cooked. I like good stuff. I like protein. I love vegetables when they're cooked correctly. Don't over steam broccoli; it's crap. But the big thing for me was portion control.
Okay.
And eating more consistently. That I said to you a few weeks back, one of the things I was struggling with because of my job, I can't always come at 6 a.m. or at 9 p.m. or in the middle of the day. I know I'm going to the gym today, but I'm not 100% sure which time yet. So one of the things I was really struggling with was having the energy at the right time.
Interesting.
So what I've tried to do is really start my gym session 2 hours before I come. So if I'm coming to the gym at 6 a.m, I'm at least I'm usually waking up at like 4:30 or 5, but then getting that coffee in me, having a little bit of a break, making sure that I am fully functional
physically
and
and mentally
ready.
prepared.
Yeah, exactly. And the same if I'm sort of coming straight from work, I'll make sure I had lunch at an appropriate time and I've got that energy in me. And really planning a 3-hour gym session or a 4-hour gym session rather than just when I arrive here. Because my big problem was I was either burning myself out and then in the evening I was eating good food, but loads of it, like just loads of it before bed. Because I've got quite an appetite on me as well. I love food, so I'll just keep eating. Do you know what I mean? So really stemming that down and just making sure it was balanced right. Because if you eat too much before doing some exercise as well,
you'll feel sluggish and tired.
You've had an awesome relationship of understanding your own kind of just feedback from stuff, and then knowing what you need to change about it. So like you were saying, just if I'm going to go to the gym because you were saying I find myself rocking up at the gym because it's my next part of the day to do, and getting here and being like, I need to sit down. Whereas you'll be like, now, okay, cool, I've got my gym coming soon, so I'll have a coffee at work, I'll do some emails, I'll just do bollocks for a little bit. And then when I get there, I'll want to do a bit of something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really cool.
That's been a big change. I'm coming here now and being effective.
Good.
So, like, you know, coming to the gym for 2 hours is all well and good, but I think half the people that do that don't actually get much out of it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather come and go, right, okay, I'm knackered, I've done 45 minutes, but it was serious.
Hard and effective.
So yeah, I've just learned how to fit it around what I do. I realise I can't do the same thing every day. You know, some people plan their life around the gym. I have to do it the other way around. But I've found a way to be able to do that. So I roll it into my work. Like you say, I'll make sure that I do all the manual stuff at work as soon as I get there. And then when I'm sitting down to do emails or whatnot, I can make sure I'm eating the right thing while I'm doing them, or I make sure I'm drinking the right thing, and I'm planning in exactly when I'm going to leave. And that just really, really, really helps. And because I'm doing that, I'm not having a massive binge at the end of the day on what is good food. But the thing is, salmon becomes unhealthy when you get through a side of it. Do you know what I mean? Comes bloody expensive as well.
I bet.
So yeah, just making sure that actually eating slower, that's a big thing. In the evening, enjoying my food, really enjoying it rather than
rushing through it and being like, ooh, more.
I think I've spent so many years going, oh my God, I've got 5-minute break before I'm back at it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I just bam, 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 and actually just taking that time. It's amazing how you can get the same amount of full by eating half the amount of food over 10 minutes as you do in twice the amount of food in 5 minutes.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's weird.
Definitely agree with this.
But,
yeah.
But it is a thing.
Yeah, sometimes your body takes a little bit of time to recognise that you've actually eaten food. There's some satiety signalling comes from your actual gut, the stretch receptors around your stomach, and it can tell how much food's in there. But then after 10 or 15 minutes, some of that food starts to digest and you get carbs and protein, amino acids in your bloodstream. Then this has like hormonal signalling pathways to the brain. Oh, we've got nutrition. Then hunger starts to settle down. But that's not happening within 3 minutes of just face pounding. You know what I mean? It's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It sounds like John's top tips are preparation and portions.
100%.
And you're a man with all the potential excuses and not doing any of them, which is good. All the legitimacy with potential excuses. So,
I didn't have that biscuit yesterday.
Good, you were told not to. Well, hey, this has been very fun, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Thank you
we
for
do some
being here.
sponsors. We're sponsored by the Parrot Club, Happy Bar, Sairen Rum, O'Hara's Rum, WH Architect on Instagram, Connor Rhodes Fitness on Instagram, macrozinc.net. What else?
The Station Gym.
The Station Gym.
My brother Marcus.
WH Hair.
Yes.
Yes. What else? Who
MH
else?
Hair.
MH Hair. Yes. Sorry.
That's it.
Everyone else.
Everyone else in the world, thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Take care, people.